This week we're talking about outing ourselves as being parents of transgender children and what that looks like, and do we have to do it at all? And the first thing I want to talk about is this. If you choose not to disclose to anybody that your child is transgender, or you find yourself in a situation where you revert back to using your child's birth name and pronouns, it does not mean that you are dishonoring your child or that you are being an unsupportive parent. Okay? Do you need me to say that again? Do you need me to say it louder? It does not mean that you are not supporting your child. Sometimes you're going to find yourself in situations where it doesn't make sense to tell a person that you're talking to that your child is transgender. Or you're not going to be in a situation where you feel safe to do it, or your child may have just come out recently and one, you're not ready to disclose that information yet, or your child has not given you permission to share with people that they are transgender. All of those situations are situations where you would still be sharing with people the birth name and pronouns that your child has, right? So in doing so, you are honoring your child's wishes. You are honoring your own personal thoughts and feelings in any given moment, and you're just being a good parent. There is never a time where not disclosing that your child is transgender is doing harm to your child and making you be a bad parent. Sometimes it just doesn't make sense. You might run into somebody in the supermarket who asks how your kid is, and are you going to want to get into a long, drawn-out conversation about how your child is no longer using that name and pronouns and they've come out as transgender and this is what's going on for your family? No. You're going to say, so-and-so is good, thank you for asking, and you're going to move on and continue on with your shopping, right? It doesn't always make sense. It's not always safe. You may be around other people who are transphobic, who are against the LGBT community, and sharing about your child being transgender is not safe. It puts you at a risk and makes you a target. And so talking about your child and being the parent of a transgender child is not a good idea, and that's fine. It doesn't make you a bad parent to not talk about your child being transgender. There's a time and a place to do it, and there's a time and a place not to do it. You don't have to tell people if you aren't ready. You don't have to tell people who don't need to know. Some people, it's none of their business. You don't have to tell people who are in your life who you know it's going to cause a huge problem with. It's none of their concern and none of their business. Like, they don't need to know either. It's up to you to determine when is the right time and when you are ready. And also, if your child's not ready for you to talk about them being transgender, that's the most important thing. Like, you can't talk about your child being transgender if you don't have their permission to do so. So I just want to hop on here and talk about that really quick, because a lot of people ask me about it. They send me emails and they're like, I'm not ready to share about this yet. Like, does that mean this, that, or the other thing? And the answer is no, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that you're not being supportive. It doesn't mean that you're not honoring your child. It doesn't make you a bad parent. It doesn't mean that you're not being accepting of your child and their coming out and their process. It doesn't mean any of those things. It just means that you're not ready. The time's not right. The situation's not right. Your child's not ready for you to do it. There's like a whole big long list of reasons of why you may not be talking about your child being transgender or you being the parent of a transgender child, and all of them are perfectly valid, except if you don't support your child being transgender and that's why you're not talking about it. And I'm pretty sure that if that's you, you're not here watching my video because you wouldn't be following me in the first place. So I don't think you need to worry about that. So don't worry about it. You're doing okay. You're gonna be okay. And just keep going. One step, one day at a time. And we're just gonna get through this.